Hi, fifth grade. I wanted to introduce you to your new novel. Our new novel is called In Their Own Words, Lewis and Clark. Now, this is a special story because it's a little bit different than anything else we've shared with you. This particular story is a first-hand account. It would be found in the biography section of the library. First-hand account means the information in this book came from the people who were involved in the expedition, which is pretty cool, right? Lewis and Clark kept journal entries of their travels as they explored during westward expansion. And we took those journal entries, and this particular author, George Sullivan, created a book from those journal entries. Now, what I want you to know is this. This particular story took place in the early 1800s because this was at a time when we had just finished the Revolutionary War. Thomas Jefferson was our president at the time. He was our third president, by the way. And he had this idea that we needed to expand our borders. We needed to create a larger country, and all of the land out west was there for the taking. It was there to be explored. He was a very idealistic man. He is known for the Louisiana Purchase. Now, it seems confusing because we know of Louisiana as this small little state at the bottom of our country. Well, in fact, it was a very large area that ran the total width from north to south of our country. This was purchased from France, and it was purchased for $15 million, which I know sounds like a lot of money to us, but back then it really wasn't that much money because look at how much land the United States gained. Here in my map you see this pink section was what we considered to be the United States during this time. After Thomas Jefferson purchased the Louisiana Territory, you see this purple section here, this all became part of the United States. So you see, it wasn't just this tiny little state down here we know as Louisiana for $15 million. He purchased all of this land right here from France for $15 million. That's a pretty good deal, boys and girls, because essentially he doubled the size of the United States like that. Pretty cool, huh? Well, after he purchased this land, he decided to send Meriwether Lewis to lead an expedition. This expedition was designed to explore the western part of this country. And they, of course, were going to travel through the land they had just purchased and possibly go as far as they could make it, is what Thomas Jefferson told them to do. Now, what they did was they created a group called the Corps of Discovery. This was a group consisted of Lewis and Clark. They were the leaders, obviously. They used 30 soldiers during this expedition. I'm sure you've heard of someone named Sacagawea. If not, you'll learn about her. She was a Native American that helped them throughout their journey. Had it not been for her, I'm not so sure it would have been quite as successful. And they traveled from Missouri to the Pacific Ocean. So they were right around in this area when they then traveled all the way to the Pacific Ocean and back. Pretty amazing, huh? They traveled thousands and thousands of miles. Well, as we read this book, you're going to find out about what their travels were like. Let me share a little bit of the back of the book with you. I set out at 4:00 p.m. in the presence of many neighboring inhabitants and proceeded on under a Gentile breeze up the Missouri. William Clark's journal entry for May 14, 1804, marks the day that Lewis and Clark set out on their 2-year journey from St. Louis, Missouri to the Pacific Ocean and back again. During their voyage of discovery, Lewis and Clark accomplished many exciting things. Did you know that the Lewis and Clark expedition had the first 4th of July celebration west of the Mississippi? They also covered over 8,000 miles. They discovered more than 100 animals new to science. Animal species that had never been discovered before. Pretty amazing. And they were joined by a Native American woman named Sacagawea. In their own words, Lewis and Clark tells the exciting story of the lives and these explorers using the journals they kept on their journey west. Hear Lewis and Clark's story as if you were really there. I hope you enjoy reading this book with us. Now here's what's going to happen for you. Each day you're going to read a chapter. We will begin on Tuesday, March 31st, and we should end around April 17th if we're doing one per day. Now here's what's going to happen in Google Classroom. We will have the text posted for you because we know you probably don't have a copy of the book, and no, we don't expect you to get one. We've scanned each chapter in, and we will have that available for you to read the text online each day. Additionally, there's going to be an audio clip posted. Now, this is going to be a clip of me reading that chapter to you. You're not required to listen to me read to you. You can certainly read it on your own if you like. But one thing I ask is this. If you choose to use the audio clip, please make sure you also have the tab open with the text so that you can follow along as I'm reading to you. Very important. And finally, each day, there will be some questions posted for you for that particular day's chapter. You'll just answer those questions to the best of your ability, being very specific and using all your wonderful reading strategies. You will click submit and we will grade your work. We hope you enjoy this trip across the United States with Lewis and Clark.